Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Eddie Hearn. We've just seen the weigh-in for Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor 2. We'll get into that in a second. Just want to get the serious stuff out of the way. Unrest going on in the city of Dublin at the moment. Is there anything in terms of going ahead for Saturday night, the event, given the safety concerns?
Yeah, no. We're obviously all systems go. There's already an increased security presence around the show for everyone's safety as there was last time. And you know, we're across everything. If that needs to be increased, it will be, but no concerns over the safety of fans tomorrow night, and just looking to create a great night. You know, obviously we're here in Ireland and we've seen a lot in the last 24 hours, but hopefully we can deliver some positivity and give that opportunity to one of the greatest in Katie Taylor. And tomorrow is a celebration of women's boxing, Irish sport, and like I said, one of their icons in a big opportunity for her career.
Yeah, just speaking on that point of positivity, does this highlight further the importance of boxing events like that? People from different walks of life coming together in the name of the sport, uniting?
I think so. I mean, you know, we were down Crumlin Boxing Club the other night, and that togetherness from those people and that community, you hope that it can lead to positive mindsets and doing the right things. And it's very difficult, you know, when in these kind of situations, because everybody has opinions. Some people don't know a lot about the situation. I'm probably one of those people that come over here and, you know, everyone's very passionate about their thoughts for their country, and all you really want to see is people get along, you know, in any walk of life. And I feel like at the moment we've become really desensitized to stuff in general. You know, talking about England, we have situations every week where people are losing their lives on the street to knife crime, kids. But we just sort of go, oh, it's terrible, and on we go. You know, you look at the wars in the Middle East, it's like you see these shocking images and everyone, oh, right, okay. And it's like nothing seems to affect us or nothing seems to be done. I feel like the compassion's gone a little bit from people. So when we look at tomorrow night, when you see the atmosphere in there, when you see people linking arms and singing ole, 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 from all different walks of life, kind of makes you feel warm. And that's the same in an amateur boxing club. It doesn't matter what your background is, where you come from, you know, whether you're tall, short, you know, whatever you look like, you're one. You're a family in there. And hopefully tomorrow night we can create an event that's seen worldwide that can showcase Dublin and Ireland in a fantastic light.
That's very well said, and that's a conversation I'd love to delve with you deeper on a further date here. Getting into the actual fight this weekend at the top of the bill with Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor. You've seen fights come and go. You've seen icons like Katie Taylor come and go. What did you see in the face-off?
You know, probably what I see always, which is just a huge will to win. I think the biggest difference this week has been the preparation of Katie Taylor in the lead up to the fight. I mean, last time, and rightfully so as the homecoming, she went above and beyond. Do you know what I mean? She was like opening schools. She was meeting kids. She was signing autographs. She was doing roundtables, interviews, sit-downs, photo shoots. And the ring walk was 8 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And like, she was definitely tired when she got in the ring. I don't want to take anything away from the performance of Chantelle Cameron, who was amazing. But Katie Taylor will be better, fitter, faster, and more energised this time around. But probably so will Chantelle Cameron, because she's full of confidence. She looks so strong. And mentally, she looks like she's in a place where she really believes she cannot be beaten. And, you know, I love this sport. I think tomorrow night is an absolute cracker. I mean, Reece Mould against Gary Cully, I love it. You know, Paddy Donovan against Danny Bull, big Thomas Carty, Zelfa Barrett, Nicholson Wildheart. The two Irish fights on Before the Bell are going to be thrillers. Giorgio Vizio. Like, you talk about boxing coming together. This is what my, you know, just lights me up inside. Nights like this where I can look round at those 9,000-10,000 in the tiers singing ole, 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 and just go, okay, I love boxing. And you'll see that tomorrow night. Honestly, you'll get a brilliant night tomorrow.
Really widening the scope here a little bit. Someone that wants to see changes in his fight is John Fury. So Tyson Fury's style isn't good. It wouldn't beat Usyk, wouldn't let alone have beaten Klitschko if we would face him with that style. John Fury saying about Tyson Fury now. Maybe looking for a hint of change of trainer heading towards Usyk. What do you think about that?
Yeah, weird comments. I mean, I think Tyson's style, I think Tyson was at his best. I mean, what he did in the Klitschko fight was quite remarkable. I remember watching that fight. I was in Boston for a James DeGale fight, or Washington, somewhere. And we watched it on the laptop, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe. Like, And he got through 3 or 4 rounds, and I was thinking, he can't do this for 12. You know, Klitschko's going to walk him down, and next 6, 8, and I thought, oh my God, like, it wasn't overly exciting, but it was brilliant what he did. And then I just feel like maybe he's slowed down a little bit. Maybe his reactions aren't the same, so he's got a little bit more aggressive. I think it's better to watch now. You know, if you look at the third Wilder fight, it was a thriller. And it was like, only because he was actually walking him down and trading. Like, that's not Tyson Fury. So how does he beat Usyk? Does he have that aggressive style? Does he revert to type? It's very difficult to be that kind of fighter that he was against Klitschko. Well, how long ago was that? 10 years? 8 years ago? 7? I don't know. He's not going to be that same fighter. And you can't work off reactions against Usyk if your reactions aren't there or aren't the same. So maybe he's got to use his size. Maybe he's actually got to impose himself on Usyk, but that's very difficult, as we've seen before with AJ. And I know they're different fighters, but everyone was just saying to AJ, all you got to do against Usyk is just impose yourself physically on him. It ain't that easy. Dubois couldn't do it, and Dubois is a massive lump as well and can really punch. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he looks a little bit lost in styles, to be honest with you, but maybe his confidence in his reactions and his speed and his movement isn't the same. But listen, he'll be up for it, the Usyk, and I think it's a great fight. Looking forward to seeing it.
Dereck Chisora, in his conversation with Simon Jordan, said that he laid down the blueprint to beat Usyk. Do you think he did?
A little bit. I mean, it was a different, you know, it was Usyk's first fight at heavyweight. We were behind closed doors, but he jumped all over Usyk. You know, I mean, you have to have no fear, and you have to just take silly chances again. And Derek's the kind of bloke that will do it. I mean, he's swinging his arms, he's just throwing them from everywhere, and Usyk was like a rabbit in headlights for the first couple of rounds. He got to terms with it, and it was actually quite a close fight. So, yes, I do think there is a method to the madness, but it's just not that easy, especially when Usyk switched on.
I just want to dip into my bag of questions, ask you a couple of things I want to ask you. Hypothetically, look, Katie Taylor, if she was to retire at the weekend, win, lose or draw, where would you rank the achievements that that Matchroom and Katie have garnered amongst your other work?
Probably my greatest and my proudest as well at the same time. In Madison Square Garden against Serrano, like, people still stop me in New York and say, oh man, I was there for Taylor Serrano. That was the owners of the building say that was the greatest fight ever in the arena. You talk about fight, you know, an arena that's housed Ali, Frazier and all the greats. So yeah, I think that it's always so rewarding to deliver things that people say you couldn't. And when she debuted at Wembley Arena, quite honestly, people laughed and took the piss out of us and said, oh, you got a woman's fight on? What a joke. Look at it now. And not all female fights are crackers, but look at where it's come to and look at what she's done. Her third successive 7-figure sellout. And she's a huge star. You know, you could count the people that can create the kind of interest she can in a fight on one hand in world boxing. So, you know, she's been incredible.
Dereck Chisora, jumping back to that podcast, said yesterday that he'd rather get KO'd because he knows he would have done everything that he could have rather than lose on points. So as a competitor, Eddie, would you rather fall short at the final hurdle or lose resoundingly?
I mean, probably fall. I mean, I don't think you worded that quite right. I think I'd rather fall short at the final hurdle. But would I, if I was a fighter, would I rather get knocked out or would I rather lose effectively without trying? I mean, that's a very brave strategy to have. And you often hear fighters say, I'd rather be knocked out than lose on points. And I'm not so sure about that. I think that Chisora's definitely, I believe him. But you often see a lot of fighters. Mickey Duff had a great line my dad always told me is, sometimes he'd say to a fighter, well done, son, you did just enough to lose. And what that means is you never really put it on the line, did you? But it's very difficult when you're getting beaten up, when you're getting hurt, and you're getting outboxed, to just dive in recklessly and have a go with your chin in the air. But Del Boy is definitely one of the old school that would do it.
What brings you more satisfaction, building a fighter from scratch or rebuilding a fighter who was on the brink?
Probably a fighter from scratch. You know, I think when you first sit down with a fighter in the office, and sometimes you have a plan for a fighter, and you feel a lot of responsibility when you sell a plan into a fighter, especially ones who have to make sacrifices, you know, move camps, move areas, whatever they've got to do, because they've trusted your word and your strategy. And I always find a better relationship with fighters that you do sign from the debut, because you're more invested in their journey. So you're watching them develop, get to 3-0, 5-0, stepping into 8-rounders, 10 rounders, you win your first championship together, and you just see if they can go through the levels. To be honest, you probably know by somewhere between 5 and 10 fights how far a fighter's really going to go, because you see it and you know the ability. But you know, some of our greatest achievements, you know, going back, I mean, Cal Yafai, you know, retired last week. We had him from the debut. He became a world champion. Callum Smith from the debut. Charlie Edwards from the debut. Katie Taylor from the debut. Anthony Joshua from the debut. Sure, I've missed others out as well. And they've all been fighters that we've worked with who we've taken from professional debut to world championship. And you know, it's a rewarding task. Coming up in America, Diego Pacheco, Ray Ford, you know, it'd be nice stateside to have built someone from the professional debut to becoming a world champion. Final two, now that Frank and you are buddies, what fights would you like to make with them outside of Fury and AJ? I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's as many fights as there was previously. Like one stage there was, everyone drew up their list, and you know, I'm sure there's fights to be made, and everything's, you know, we've got a global roster of fighters, and they've got some good fighters as well. And now through this opportunity, I'm sure they'll sign more international fighters as well. So like, it really comes down to the opportunity for our fighters, but willing to do more business, of course. Lastly, where will you be in 5 to 10 years? I mean, hopefully alive. You know, I mean, we laugh, but we just don't know. Listen, you know, you could wake up tomorrow feeling unwell, you go to the doctors, and they tell you you've got a terminal disease, and you've got 3 months to live. That's the reality of life. Now, you try and keep yourself in the best condition to make sure that's not the case, but when it's your time, it's your time. So my health will always take priority, because while you're breathing and while you're living, you've always got a chance to do something great. So honestly, when you say, where do I want to be in 5 or 10 years time? Alive is my answer. Because when you're not alive, obviously nothing else matters. But, you know, where do I want to be personally? Do I want to be in the game? I just want to wake up with a buzz. You know, I want to live my life happy. I want to make sure that I live it with passion and with purpose. So I need something. And that might be boxing, or it might be grassroots, or it might be TV or films or music. I don't know where life's going to take me, but the key, stay alive. Keep breathing, folks. Films? Films, yeah. Film star. No, you're going to get me in trouble now on the old clickbait, but listen, I'm deluded. I see myself in a different light to others. I think I can do anything. It's like when I wrote a book, when I did my men's health column and cover, you know, and I like doing things that people, or I thought was ridiculous to try and do. So do I think I'm going to be a film star? No. But who knows what the future brings. Hollywood Hearns, great conversation. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.